everybody, it's Josh from CrossFit Metro East, and I am coming to you today from the good old Chevy, Colorado. I always take some time while I'm driving and I think about things, and then sometimes it's better for me to just to get it out, and rather than try to wait till later, I kind of forget my thoughts and everything else. But had a great conversation with one of our members today, and I just wanted to kind of share that information with everybody else, because I think it's very important that we give everyone this insight to the topic. I think probably more often than not, I have this conversation with multiple members or clients, and I feel like I tell them the same thing all the time, but I think there needs to be a change in the culture or the attitude around this topic. And the topic I'm going to talk to you about is injuries, or and I'll use the word injuries loosely, and I'll explain a little bit deeper what I mean by injuries and the difference between them and other issues. So talking with this member, and this member mentioned to me that she didn't come into the workout the other day because of a certain movement that was in the workout, and that movement bothers that athlete when they do too many reps of that, bothers their back or their hip, and so they saw that on the workout, and so they elected to not come in and just get kind of a workout in at home, because they didn't really know what they would do in place of that movement in the workout. And they kind of wanted my insight on it to know, was that a good decision? Should I have still come in? And my answer, in short, is always yes, still come in. I always want somebody to come in, no matter what the movement is, or no matter what they think that they might not know how to do it. That's what you guys pay us for. You pay a good amount of money to come to our gym. The reason we charge so much for our memberships is because we believe that we provide a valuable coaching service. This is like personal training. You're just in a group setting. And I just released an article actually on our blog today or last night that talks about scaling. And one of the top 3 reasons that we scale for an athlete is because of injury. Now, partly also I want to specify that this guy, I kind of grew up with this as an athlete growing up in football. You're either injured or you're hurt. Injured means like, hey, I can't play. And hurt means, well, I can still go, but I might need to make some modifications to what I'm doing. And injuries in the fitness world, what I would consider injuries are issues that you might be seeing a medical professional for, such as a chiropractor, for more than just regular maintenance, a physical therapist. You might be going to an orthopedic surgeon because you're going to have surgery on a body part. Those items are injuries that we need to work around. Now, it gets a little bit more difficult to work around an injury because typically there's less mobility available for that athlete. Maybe they've got a cast on, maybe they've got a brace on or something like that, or they're on crutches or whatever. You never know. But I'll be honest with you, I work with some baseball and softball teams, and I've had a couple different instances in the last month. I've got one kid with a wrist and thumb that's in a cast, and I got another kid with a foot that's in a cast, and we've been able to provide a decent workout for them, even if it's not quite the same exact thing that the rest of the team's doing. It's kept them involved in the team atmosphere, as well as allowed them to get somewhat of a workout in, even though we're not even addressing the affected body part. So there is a difference between injuries and just a typical sprain or strain. The injury, yes, it is a little bit more difficult to work around, and sometimes that athlete's ability to be mobile in the gym might be at risk for going through modifications to an exercise. But definitely a sprain, strain, something like that, something that's just like a nagging type chronic issue that might be going on. I always want somebody to come into the gym, because we are here to scale and modify for you. So one of the things that when the athlete told me, like, well, I just didn't know what I would do, it's like, it's not your job to know. It's our job to know as coaches, to be able to scale for you effectively so you can still get a workout in. And we might scale load for an individual. We might scale the movement for the individual. But we're still going to get a workout intent out of that. And I told this athlete, I said, you know, a modified workout is better than no workout at all. So no, do we want to cause issue to the problem that you're having? Absolutely not. But I also, without you being here, I can't help you even figure out why you're having that issue. One thing for me is I worked in a physical therapy clinic for 6 years. I worked under physical therapists, athletic trainers. I went to school to diagnose and treat injuries. That's what I did, especially in the athletic setting. So for me, I always want to ask the question of, why is your back hurting when you do a front squat? Why is your knee hurting when you do a box jump? You know, I want to dive into the reasons why, and if you're not at the gym, I can't help you with that. I always tell my athletes that, hey, listen, I'm gonna try to give a little bit of a diagnosis here. I'm gonna help treat as best as I can, and I'm gonna give you about 10 to 14 days to do a little self-treat. And if we can't get this better in the next 10 to 14 days, I'm gonna refer you out, because it's not in my profession that I'm fixing people on the therapeutic side of things. I am totally okay with referring out to a medical professional when we deem it's necessary for an athlete. But again, if that athlete's just sitting on their butt at home for 3 weeks because they said, well, you know, I kind of bothered my shoulder, so I just took 3 weeks off. Like, I don't know that they got better, and I still don't know what the issue was because I never saw them when it actually happened. So what I would stress to you, you know, the long post of this, sorry for the longer video, but I want to create a change in our culture as a gym that if you have something going on, you have a shoulder, you have a knee, you have a back, I don't even care if it's not related to your workout, because, you know, to be honest with you, a lot of times it doesn't come up like it's, oh man, I was doing Fran the other day and I threw out my back. Like it's sometimes it doesn't even happen in the gym at all, or you wake up with a stiff neck. The first thing that you should do in your plan is figure out how I can get a hold of my coach, and when can I get into the gym today so that I can make sure that I get seen by Josh. So even if it's you shoot me an email or you shoot me a text, by the way, josh@crossfit-metroeast.com. You can shoot me an email and you say, hey Josh, I've got this going on. When's a good time in your schedule that we could get together and we can take a look at this? I would much rather that be the process and what goes on in an injury than I just don't see somebody for a week and a half, and then next thing you know, I'm like, hey, where you been? They're like, oh, well, I hurt my shoulder a couple weeks ago, or I hurt my back a couple weeks ago, and so I saw that we had front squats, so I just didn't come in. It's like, well, how are we going to get you better if you're not here? And again, I think it's at my fault that I haven't communicated that enough to our members, to our people in the gym, that you do need to come in because we can be helpful to you. And never think for a second that I'm going to go above and beyond my scope of practice either. If I truly feel like you've got an issue, I'm going to tell you, hey, listen, I don't think there's anything that I can do for you here. I'd prefer you, let's go take the next step. Let's get to the doc. Let's get to Dr. Travis and see him on Thursday. Or, hey, this is even more involved. I'd like to see him in his office. Like, we have people in place. We have resources in place that are great at taking care of the human body so that you can do the fun things that you like to do in the gym. But if we don't see you and we can't take that first step, then it's very difficult for us to help you. So that being said, injuries or a sprain or strain or something you've got going on, if you've got a body part that's ailing you, I think the first step needs to be, I'm going to get a hold of Coach Josh. I'm going to email him real quick. I'm going to make sure I can get into his schedule within the next couple days so that we can get this looked at and I can get on the path to getting better, not just sit and think that I'm going to self-treat or do nothing and it's just going to make everything heal up. So that's my little soapbox. I'm going to step off of that now. So sorry for the long post, but I appreciate the conversation that I got to have with our member, because this is not the only conversation I've had about the topic, and I think it's very important that, again, we begin to change our culture, change our thought process around an injured body part and how we can get it better. Let our fitness professionals be a part of this, and then let us refer you out if need be, if it's not within our scope of practice. So thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys have a great Saturday. We'll see you next week in the gym. Rest up.